Right, everyone, good afternoon. So we are the With Love Project. We're a creative team based in Manchester in the north of England. We're founded by Chris Roberts and myself. I'm Rob Evans. Chris's background is in branding, creative direction. My background's photography and filmmaking. And we first met when we were working for creative agencies in and around Manchester.
Yeah, in the past we've both worked with global giants and startups, and we kind of both with helping faceless brands push shitty products into the world. So we decided just to work with people and brands that are actually making positive change, and our focus became game changers, free things and goodies.
So we specialize in photography, film and creative direction for purpose-driven brands. We've decided that we're only going to take 6 projects on a year. So it means we can really immerse ourselves into each project and really stand behind the brands that we're working with.
As well as the 6 that Rob mentioned, we also take one project for us, no outside brief, no financial constraints, just a chance to flex our creativity and follow something that we get excited about. So we've done films, books, pop-up department stores, and we've got a new project kicking off next week, actually, I think.
So these personal projects are always self-funded, are always done on a shoestring, and that means a lot of getting up in the night, driving through the night, a lot of camping, a lot of staying on people's floors, and many evenings sat around a campfire. But I mean, for us, that's kind of all part of the fun, all part of the adventure, and obviously it makes us some great content.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all beautiful photos. A lot of the time we've got to sleep in the van, and you know, popping out for an early morning wee whilst leaving the door open when you're staying up in Scotland in winter time apparently leaves a bit of a draft.
So the thing that drives us to do these projects, and like the golden thread in everything we do, is people's stories, and we get to go and meet people just off the back of an email or a phone call. So we're going to go do our 12 favorite stories in 20 seconds each. That's going to be difficult for anyone who knows Chris because he loves to talk. And this is us eating fresh fish on the beach in Arbroath.
Okay, this is David Hyatt. David wants to get his town making jeans again. A cardigan in Wales used to make 35,000 pairs of jeans a week. That was until the factory closed and 400 people out of a town of 4,000 lost their jobs. David's aim is to get 400 world-class makers their jobs back. So
this is Ben Oakes from Sconser Scallops. So Ben and his father David hand dive for scallops on the Isle of Skye in the freezing cold water, and they double dive. So they take the scallops from the deep waters of the loch and they move them up into the shallower waters where the plankton's thicker and they get big and juicy, and then they catch them for the second time.
This is Lizzie Dyer. She's from Just Kidding. Lizzie started the business because she saw a potential for a waste product to the dairy market. Dairies breed goats for milk and cheese, and generally the male offspring are just dispatched at birth. So Just Kidding takes the kids and they've created this whole new market for healthy, tasty kid meat.
This is Richard Ballard. He's one of the founders of Growing Underground. So they found a World War II air raid shelter 120 feet below the streets of London, and they've turned it into an underground farm. So they grow like salad leaves, they grow micro herbs, and they're selling all around restaurants and shops over London.
This is definitely the coolest man we've ever met, Fred Jourdan from Blitz Motorcycles. Fred, along with his business partner, who's equally as cool, by the way, they hand build motorcycles and start each one with an old fuel tank, the heart of the motorcycle, and they build it out by eye. Every bike is an absolute stunner.
This is Andrea Holden. So she's from Sky Weavers, and she was on holiday. I think she's Dutch. She was on a holiday in the Outer Hebrides, and she met Roger, her future husband and business partner. She fell in love with Roger. She also fell in love with the island, and she's never left. It wasn't long. They bought a house and they bought a pedal-powered loom, and now they made scarves by the power of the foot.
So this is Michael Shaw from Golspie Mill. Each morning he heads up to the mill pond, which is about 300 meters from his house, to turn the sluice gates to release the water. The momentum kicks the old wheel that you can see in the background into life, and it powers this traditional flour mill.
Britta Hirsch. So we met Britta through a friend of ours, and when we heard about her, we had to meet her. So she's a German tailor. She now lives in Macclesfield in the north of England, and she used to make suits for Pavarotti. As soon as we heard that story, we wanted to meet her. Now she makes custom suits. Takes 80 hours every suit, and they're beautiful.
We went foraging with Liz Knight from Forage Fire Foods in the Black Mountains in the English-Welsh border. She showed us how to tap sap from trees, pick nettles without getting stung, and whipped up the freshest wildflower salsa for lunch with ingredients that we'd all picked up en route.
This is Paul Mears. Paul is a third-generation wooden boat builder. He's living in Devon. He's been doing it forever. He loves working with wood. Paul's only problem is he's incredibly seasick, and he's actually never been out in one of the boats that he builds. Caught up.
Down in Devon, Dave Smith showed us around his workshop, and it's filled with stunning hand-painted finished signs. The intricacies of his work is absolutely mind-blowing, and the names that he's created for are equally impressive. It was a real treat for me from a design point of view to get in and just spend time with him.
This is James. James builds wooden surfboards in Cornwall, of all places. We've met him loads of times and have never once seen him wearing any shoes, which is weird. But he started building wooden surfboards out of frustration with the plastic ones that break all the time, and are made of plastic.
So it was actually James who gave us what essentially is our motto, our North Star. The line we always turn to whenever we're faced with a decision about projects or a focus for the business. And this is it. Stick to what you enjoy and you'll end up doing something you love.